A moment that had a significant impact on my career came when I worked in retail operations several years ago. I was asked to do secondment to support a large-scale transformation program across the business, and I was going to be supporting with the communications and engagement around that program with colleagues. At first I was apprehensive about doing secondment because in retail operations I knew what I was doing. I'd been doing it for a number of years and I was very good at it. It was my comfort zone, but I had stopped growing. It was actually this opportunity that actually opened a doorway to a new opportunity in another company where I was asked to support a similar type of change agenda, and I would be leading employee engagement. But it was that role that actually opened the gateway to my current career in internal communications, engagement and employee experience. After 9 months in my new role, I had spoken to many colleagues in the business about the change program I was working on. And what I discovered was amazing stories about the work that people were doing, the passion and pride for the brand, but also the frustrations that they had about the brand and how that got in the way of them doing their work. I also realised that historically there'd been very little two-way dialogue between colleagues and leaders within the business. It was when I was having an update on the project with my Chief People Officer at the time, I just made an off-the-cuff remark about why did we create a staff magazine. The opportunity being to give updates on the change project that I was working on, but also to shine a light on the people stories that I've been hearing in the previous 9 months. And it was actually that off-the-cuff conversation that led to my career in internal communications. There was no internal communications function in the business I worked at, so I had to create the staff magazine from scratch, but I was clear about its purpose and its outcomes, amongst which was to celebrate colleagues, give updates on the change program happening across the business, but also to show colleagues that leaders were not only listening to their feedback, but were acting on their feedback. But I had no experience in creating staff magazines, so I reached out to brands across London to understand what they did for their organisations, the how, the why, and also what to avoid. Learnings which I brought into my organisation for the staff magazine that I was creating. It proved to be a huge success, but also led to conversations with the Chief People Officer about how do we do more in the comms and engagement space of the organisation, and that was a great conversation to be part of. The experience helped me learn a number of things, the first of which was to be comfortable in not knowing all the answers and to actually say that to others and to seek help. And also I learned the importance of building an internal network of allies to support the things that I believed in and the changes that I wanted to make in the organisation going forward. What I would have done differently is to spend more time on strategy, devoting time to outlining the roadmap for change, and then devoting time to engaging leaders with that roadmap to capture their appetite, their input, and their advocacy. So basically bringing them along the journey with me, as opposed to presenting finished products to them